Actually, the first time I heard of IDEA was doing a peer review of someone else's calculations. But we've been struggling with, or we have been struggling with complex connections and the time that was spent engineering these connections. The multiple pages of hand calcs, breaking things into various components and kind of applying it that way, which could yield to conservative, unconservative results. So we've been searching for something for a while, and we finally just pulled the trigger. And we met with you guys at the Steel Conference, which was huge. But yeah, just finally pulled the trigger. I mean, you know how it is. Sometimes you get stuck in your ways, and it's in the, you just got to get the project done. But looking towards the future, I guess this was kind of what we identified.
Yeah, I like it a lot how customizable it is. Kind of branching off of what he said. Every job you're going to have connections that are just way outside they're not standard typical connections that most softwares can really do from a connection calculation side of things. And so just having the ability to customize something to exactly what you need and run it and see the finite element, results for us has been huge. Learning it was, took a little time to learn how to use it and model it, just like any software. What I will say is the tutorials that StatiCa provides on the website were very helpful in that. And after just getting so many reps in and kind of getting used to it, it's like, it's just a handy tool to have. And
I was going to say too, like a lot of the templates that are available to begin a connection model, those are super helpful. Cuts way down on the operations needed to start a model completely from scratch. That's been pretty helpful too.
Yeah, it's true.
Probably one of the best parts of us getting involved with you guys, honestly. Right when we first reached out after the Steel Conference, we were smack dab in the middle of a project, needed not a field fix, but needed to evaluate a field condition yesterday. Learning a new software, that was going to be a bit of a challenge. So we, Andrea and yourself definitely helped us through that challenge in a very swift manner. I think we potentially had a model that you guys assisted with the next day, I think, which was super helpful. Plus, as we've kind of learned StatiCa or IDEA StatiCa more, I know we've reached out several times, and it's usually same day response, probably next day solution. Got your email, looking into it, blah, blah, blah. Next day we'll have some response for you guys, which is huge. Especially in our fast, everybody's fast paced, but for us, we're usually on the contractor side. So it's usually just, we're the last man on the totem pole. So that quick response from you guys has been huge.
Yeah, we just had a project, and I won't say what it is, but we had a project that without StatiCa, I can't put numbers to this, but it would have taken way longer. It would have been way more difficult. We basically had a ton of connections that were just complicated enough to the point where none of our other softwares were able to do it. Now, before StatiCa, can we still do those? Yes, but like Chance kind of alluded to earlier, what you get is hand calculations. Maybe we use other softwares to, try to mimic the connection. Maybe we use multiple different approaches to one connection, whereas StatiCa, we were able to just model the exact connection as it is and run it. And anyway, it cut our time on the project. Like I said, I can't say, but I want to say it cut it in half. It was incredible.
I'll just expand on that from a business standpoint. There have been jobs in particular that, quite frankly, we may have said no to those opportunities because the specific example Derek was talking about with we had a situation where steel was fabricated and then design loads changed. So we did our job, got different design loads, and then we, were asked to reevaluate with this new design criteria, and it over doubled our fee, original fee. And it's, from a business standpoint, I don't know what we would have done, honestly, to take that on. So opens up new opportunities for us.
So for existing things that for whatever reason might need change, it was extremely helpful for that, because again, that's where you kind of get into that sort of custom design, custom detailing that you usually never see. So
That is a tough one. I would say we had a 300-foot clear span truss. Maybe it was 275-foot clear span truss. Where the top cord bearing connection wasn't fully detailed by the EOR, and we had some very significant forces in there. And the cords were already ordered by the fabricator, and we were finding local tube wall failures, and I'm not so sure how we would have checked it otherwise, honestly. It would have probably involved splicing the cord and all that stuff. So we actually got something to work out. That was the one you guys helped us out on, actually. But probably just a crazy top cord bearing connection.
For me, it was actually probably just yesterday, I think. We're doing, it's not just your typical structural steel connections. We had this tank lug, rigging, lifting lug rigging design we had to do. And there's obviously means and methods to do it that are pretty simple. There was kind of a little bit of a more unique situation with this one. I won't get crazy into it, but we had to add a couple stiffeners off of it and do a little unique plate work with this sort of lug setup and attachment to the tank. And so being able to model in those custom plates in IDEA StatiCa and see all the stresses in those stiffener plates, in those added stiffeners as well as the welds. And then put all these funky loads on it that are generated from the pick of the, from the crane and stuff. So off the top of my head, that's probably the most recent one. That was kind of goofy but fun. So
I absolutely would recommend IDEA StatiCa to other engineers. Definitely for the crazy stuff. Also for the mundane stuff. It's with those templates, it's very easy to plug and play. One of the only softwares I would say that you can put loading in any direction and actually get a real result. So highly recommend.